I want to share with you a scary story. What makes this story so scary is that it's absolutely true. Have you ever been to a haunted place or a haunted house? No, I'm not talking about those Halloween fun times where characters dress up just to simply jump out of the corner to say boo. I am talking about a place where the damned dwell, a place where the spirits inhabit, a place of ghosts. I worked in such a place, and it is a place I vowed never to return to. Just thinking about it and just talking about it brings the goosebumps up on my arm. I vowed to myself I would never go back there because I do believe that place was damned. I used to work at a big box type company. It was built in the middle of nowhere, and there was a rumor that it was built upon an old cemetery. Maybe that's why the store was uneasy, and maybe that's why there seemed to be some strange happenings. I remember opening the store by myself early in the morning. The overhead lights were completely automatic. What would happen is when you walk into the store, the movement would activate them to turn them on. If you didn't walk into the store remained in darkness. You didn't even have to turn on the lights with a switch. It was all automatic. I can't tell you how many times I would drive up to the store and the lights be already on. Whenever those times happened, I would make sure when I opened up the door, I would have my phone in hand and I would yell out a hello. My voice would echo through the emptiness of the store. And yet in the distance, I could hear scampering footsteps of little kids running. It made me feel like that there were kids in the store, but that was impossible. There was nobody in the store. I do believe there was a set of kids whose spirits inhabited that store because many times in the toy aisle, balls would just start bouncing. Toys would be strewn all around the floor. Stuffed animals would fall on the floor for no reason at all. And I can't tell you how many times I would hear the running of the little footsteps or the giggles in the corner. Yet the problem was, I was absolutely by myself. There was nobody in that store. The store also had a snake problem. Have no idea where the snakes would come from, but I was always find snakes slithering underneath the shelves. I remember a woman one time running into the store screaming that a snake ended up in her car in the parking lot. How scary that would be to open up your door and have a snake hiss at you. I do believe that store was haunted. There's a story that I have that creeps me out every time I think about it. It's a simple story. On the outside, they had a locked ice machine along with a water machine that you would refill your water bottles. Every morning, when I open up the front door to the customers, I would also need to go outside and unlock the ice machine and check the water machine. A very simple task. Well, this one time, I go to open up the door, and there is an old man, hunched over, very old, wearing overalls, staring at me. With a smile, I say, "Good morning, sir. We just opened up. Please feel free to go inside." And I start walking towards the water machine. The problem is, I heard him starting to follow me behind me. He was taking steps towards me instead of going inside the store. It made me feel very uncomfortable that as I turned around to ask him if I may help him, he was absolutely gone. There was nowhere to be found. He just simply vanished. I stood there for a moment. I was in shock because I was insisting he was right there. And there was no possible way that this guy could have disappeared. In a hurry, I raced back into the store and checked the aisles. There was nobody down the aisles. I'm thinking to myself, I must be losing it. I must be crazy. So I raced over to the video camera machine to take a look at the recording. And sure enough, as I look at the recording, I feel my heart sink at what I saw. The recording of me opening the door with a smile on my face, speaking to somebody, waving hello, but yet there's nobody there. We had this beautiful can display. It was one of the displays that the vendors would come in and stack the soda cans, but in this case, it was the Monster energy drinks. They did this beautiful display stack in which they enclosed it in a Monster shelving unit. And what would happen is it's very simple. It would be a little display case. You have the different flavors of Monster. For whatever reason, and I have no idea how this happened, I walked past the display and I felt a big whoosh, as if somebody pushed me. Now, I didn't lose my balance and I didn't fall, but that whoosh caused the entire can display to fall to the floor. It was almost impossible. In order for that display to fall down, you literally would need to throw a body into it. I did not touch that display. I was nowhere near that display. Yet the display fell down. Cans of Monster rolling all over the place, rolling down the aisles. And there was nobody there. Frequently, I would talk to the people in air. I would say, "Please don't hurt me. Everything's okay. I just need to do my job." And all I did was pick up the cans and place them back on the shelf. How did those Monster cans fall to this day? I have no idea. But all I know is, as I think of that place, it scares me. What really truly scared me one time was a guy came in. He was around 30 years old. He walks up to me and stares at me and says, "Where am I?" And I look at him oddly. "I'm sorry, sir, what do you mean?" He says, "No, serious, where am I?" And I told him where he was. We were in a location where an average person isn't just going to walk to. So I said, "Sir, are you okay?" He says, "I have no idea how I got here or what I'm doing here." And I said, "Sir, did you hurt yourself? Did something happen?" He was confused and disoriented. And when I told him where he was, he looked at me strangely and picked up his phone. He had a phone in hand. And he's staring at the phone. And I said, "Sir, do you need to call somebody? Do you need me to call for an ambulance? Are you okay?" And he looks at me with horror in his eyes and he tells me he's 5 hours away from home. He has no idea how he got 5 hours away from where he was in the middle of nowhere. I was freaking out myself because it made me wonder, did he get transported to another place? Did something happen to him? Did he get his head hurt or did he get an injury? But all he asked me is, "Can you please call a cab?" Which was strange because he had a phone in hand. But I got on the phone and I called a cab driver and I never saw him again. What makes these stories so creepy is the fact that these were real stories that actually happened to me. I think about these stories and I think about the many other instances that happened at this place. And I want to say, it scares me. It makes me wonder how many other people have experienced stories as such. I am not the only one. Everybody who worked there had a story. Everybody who worked there felt the uneasiness of the store. Everybody who worked there heard the children running. It wasn't just me. I wasn't crazy. But all I know is, because this happened, I am scared to go back. And never will I go back there.